What's an official like you doing in
The
Martinez?
coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
That doesn't actually explain what he's doing in this apartment. So you're some kind of bureaucrat.
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
What is this international community?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
What is the price stabilité?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay, sure, give me a leaflet.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the Moral Intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the Moral Intern's commitment to transparency.
Okay. I've heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
So, when I said I was a thrall to foreign interests, what I should have said is that I'm a moral intern, bitch. Oh, so we're actually working for the moral intern. That doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, I feel like this, the first option's a good one.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Are you a moralist?
But of course,
But why?
because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Lieutenant, are you a moralist?
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
So yes?
A very moralist answer.
What is a normal, stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, Sur-la-Clé.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
I don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. I want more action. Moralism is the ideology of foreign occupiers. Revachol must be governed by Revacholians. Democracy is a meaningless sham as long as the working class is under the boot heel of capital. It's like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism? Well, I've never chosen option D, none of the above, so I think it's probably this one I'd probably go for.
Of course, the detective's personal views do not represent the views of the RCM.
Of course.
Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work.
It didn't work because the coalition crushed it violently. We just haven't tried real communism yet, and you're telling me this world here is working out well? You'd probably be like, yes. So, it didn't work because the coalition crushed it.
Oh, yes. The big bad coalition crushed the revolution. Tell me, if the revolution was succeeding, would it have been crushed so easily?
Yes.
Are we really so bad for wanting compromise, peace, and prosperity on reasonable, achievable terms? Ask yourself that.
Yeah, in theory that's not bad, but the problem is, that never happens.
Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur-la-Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clef is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Revachol Sur-la-Clef's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clef. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clef's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Tell me about Oranje.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clef, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more EPIS?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clef takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clef hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Okay, but outside of EPIS, what is Oranje?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Can't you just talk like a normal person?
About what?
About Oranje, just tell me what it's like there.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Enough business, let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What's this EPIS thing you keep talking about?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
So it sounds like, in theory, this would be an equivalent to the European Union is. They are letting, or making different nations all align to the same standard, such as the euro for a currency. But it makes sense to follow like centimeters, kilometers, kilograms, etc.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Okay, but like, what does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
No, what do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
You don't even hear the words I'm saying, do you?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it going to be like this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Revachol going to be part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Yeah. It's always a, oh yeah, we'll totally accept you. You know. It's actually funny. In the European Union, there are some member states that are like, oh yeah, we will totally join the European Union eventually, because one of the conditions of joining the European Union is that you must have the euro as the currency, because obviously it's standardized across all of the member states. But some countries don't want that because they have better exchange rates, or there's a lot of political history behind their currency. For example, the UK previously was a member of the European Union and is no longer anymore. And one of the conditions of rejoining the European Union, if that were to happen at some point in the future, would be you must accept the euro as a currency. And I have a feeling that there will be a lot of pushback and sort of negative mainstream media rhetoric, basically saying, oh, they're taking our pound sterling away from us. And it's like, well, that's because you chose to have a referendum where you let people decide whether we want to be a member or not. So that's the price you pay if you want to get back in. So it ain't going to happen for a long time. Didn't you say that candidate members never become real members?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation.
Yeah. So much time that they functionally don't become members.
But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
How did you even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
You're describing how the coalition occupied Revachol.
One of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate?
There's a joke here, and you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, it's so juvenile. Besides, there's no way this man is going to get it.
Maybe not, but it'll still be funny.
That's why it's good.
Yeah, I'm what they call a masturbator. Brush some invisible dirt off your shoulder.
Oh, how wonderful. I've heard it's oodles of fun. Not that I have time to take up new hobbies myself.
Did Kim get it?
See? He didn't get it. Good job, Joke Meister.
Did Kim get
The
it?
lieutenant lets out a long, nasal sigh.
Kim got it. You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry, who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Fine, but what's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in this apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside.
Listen.
He raises his hand.
Baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Someone's baby's crying.
No, listen.
He says again, looking outside.
The Insulindian Bay.
I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I had something else in mind.
I'm all ears, officer.
Thanks, I've got all I need.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Hold on, why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere, I just want to take a look around this apartment. Thanks for the heads up, my work here is done. I mean, I've already had a look around, so my work's done.
Of course. I'm sorry I couldn't be the break you were looking for. Good luck with the investigation.
And that is that. Okay, well, and like I said, there's nothing else I can do in the apartment, so if he goes, he goes. Alright, well, the smoke is gone. It is... Wait, can I do this? No, okay. I was wondering whether we could talk to the old woman to say about, you know, her husband passing on, but nothing useful would come out of that, I don't think. So, it is now 10 o'clock, which means we can confront pigs at the old fish market. Just walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. And we need to get ourselves organised. Attend Steban's meeting after 10 o'clock at the Cape Side Apartments. That should be around here somewhere. Because now we have some music playing. But the question is where in the Cape Side Apartments would it be? And also, does it technically have to be actually after 10 or not? Cindy, anything?
Hello again, officers.
Good,
The
blah, blah, blah,
neurons
blah, blah.
must be on fire. The heat
Does it make you
creating
see everything
waves
all art like?
You really think I need to be high to see the world as art? Poor unimaginative piggy. How I wouldn't want to have your peepers.
To hell with the art part, man. It's all about the high anyway.
Can't
Leading
you-
to the
I
wall.
haven't
Right,
really-
so it's
Yeah?
I love public art.
Thanks.
Blah blah blah
She means
blah.
the opposite.
Catch you later. So it's now technically gone 10 o'clock. So
As you approach the metal grill,
Aha.
you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure. No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours.
why do you say the secret door is right behind you?
Must have slipped my mind. You know how it goes.
He gives you a lackadaisical shrug.
The metal grill is cool to the touch. You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid. His right hand hovers near the zipper of his jacket.
Relax, they're only communists.
Something's not right here. The equation doesn't quite balance.
He taps his foot and takes a deep breath.
Which is just to say, we should be prepared for any eventuality.
Try to listen.
You can make out at least two separate voices. Two voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
Bang on the grill.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent. A pair of frightened hares cowering in some dark crevice of their burrow.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
It's not Maurice, it's the police. That's right, it's I, Maurice. Are you all communists? I'm looking for some communists. But we don't want to spook them straight away. We don't want to lie, so I'm looking for some communists.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built up like 0.0001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. Can you help me?
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
It's Blessed are the sausage grinders. It's Disco Supernova. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Remember Dobreva and Aberdeenaise. I don't know your passphrase, could you just let me in? Was it sausage grinders? Maybe I should have saved.
Did he say something about sausages?
He appears completely confused by your response.
No, it's not. We don't do ironic passphrases here.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you locked out of your radio computer or something? No. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4.
Remember the braver.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way.
Alright. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
That's not great.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Have fun at your underground meeting, Pig. Hope it's a blast.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor. Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like they want them to collapse.
Careful, careful. Damn, hardly any difference.
The young man shakes his head and then looks up at you with the lieutenant with barely concealed irritation.
You two, you are late.
You didn't know we were coming.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Oh yeah, 10 p.m. shot is, okay?
There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders, more than someone his age should bear. Meanwhile, his companion inclines toward him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend's mouth. Just a moment. Could this be the former owner of a certain jacket you acquired recently?
Possibly.
Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along.
Before we move on, do you recognize this jacket? Show him the Sarah Maritzian jacket.
Esteban, isn't that your jacket?
What a coincidence. You two have the same jacket. What are the odds? Based on the prevalence of white Sarah Maritzian suits in Martinez, extremely low.
It certainly looks like my jacket, Alexis. Where did you get that, gendarme?
I just found it in a room. Must be a coincidence, I see these jackets all the time. This jacket is RCM property, it's been confiscated as part of an ongoing investigation. I mean, this is the truth, so I just found it in a room.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. That's real Sarah Maritzian twill. Only old Sarah Maritzian communists and drug smugglers wear those anymore.
He is neither of those, of course. He is simply a poor student putting on airs. Also, he doesn't have the shoulders to fill out such a jacket.
See, Uli? It's just like Mazov wrote. How does it go again?
Those committed to the rights of property are those most apt to violate them.
Just a minute. Steban, Ulixis. Why do those names ring the faintest of bells? Probably because they're the real names of Nazteb and Exilus, the authors of that so-called essay about Tip-Top Tournay you read. You should get to the bottom of this when you have the chance.
I assumed it was Maurice who broke into my room to play a trick on me. I didn't think I'd actually been raided by the RCM.
So, do you want your jacket back?
Absolutely not. You have to keep it. Can you imagine the look on Maurice's face when he finds out the RCM has been kicking my door down?
He'll shit himself. Positively.
And now they've shown up in force to break up our meeting.
He rubs his hand together excitedly.
Something tells me these young men are not very experienced with law enforcement.
Hold on, we're not here to break up your meeting, we want to join your
The
meeting.
RCM wants to join us?
My partner, of course, is acting in a strictly personal capacity, not as an official representative of the RCM.
Interesting. Does that mean you've done the reading?
Sure.
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one.